Thank you, honorable guest. Well, I'd like to begin the second session, the round table. It is a great honor to serve today as chairperson of this excellent forum. As Dr. Kang Junyoung, the head of the project, said in the opening remarks, the Korea Research Foundation selected the project in May 2020 for the Humanities Korea Plus project. The project agenda is searching for the supranational cooperation and communication, identifying the contexts with the Northern culture, and building a cultural hub for the creation of unification-friendly circumstances. So this is a round table, so I'd like to invite you to freely talk about the things that we can share about the relationship between the Republic of Korea and your country. Well, first of all, I'd like to introduce honorable guests by alphabetical order of their respective country. First of all, Mr. Counselor Mahir Japarov from the Embassy of the Republic of Azerbaijan to the Republic of Uzbekistan. The second participant is Mr. Ambassador Atamklov Beybut from the Embassy of the Republic of Kazakhstan to the Republic of Uzbekistan. Yeah. So, and the next presenter is Bakit Asanga from the Kyrgyz Republic. Mr. Asanga, yeah, thank you. And next participant is Mr. Counselor Gulamadjoda Davlasho from the Embassy of the Republic of Tajikistan to the Republic of Uzbekistan. Tajikistan. Maybe he's gone. Okay, sorry. And Mr. Ambassador Olgan Bekar from the Embassy of the Republic of Turkey to the Republic of Uzbekistan. And another participant is Director Kang Junyoung from the Center for International Area Studies of Hankuk University of Foreign Studies. And the next participant is Mr. Secretary Wang Yunjong, the Secretary to the President for Economic Security from the Office of the President of the Republic of Korea. And Mr. Ambassador Kim Il-sung from the Republic of Korea. So this is around the table, and as I told you, you can freely talk about your, interest and arguments regarding the relationship between Korea and your country. But first of all, I'd like to give the mic to the Mr. Ambassador Atamklov Beybut, the ambassador from the Embassy of the Republic of Kazakhstan to the Republic of Uzbekistan.
Уважаемый господин председатель Юн Гион, уважаемый господин секретарь Ван Юнжон, уважаемый посол,
dear Kim Hassan and all diplomatic representatives, all experts, all participants of this forum, I would like to greet all of the forum participants and express my gratitude for the invitation for today's event. Of course, I would like to emphasize that Republic of Korea is an important partner of Central Asia, for our relations are strengthened by friendship and trust. Let me dwell on the relations between Kazakhstan and Korea. I would like to emphasize that diplomatic and economic ties have been developing since 1992, and in 2021 we expanded strategic partnership between two states.
Республика Корея,
The Republic of
четвертый по
Korea
величине
is the
торговый партнер
fourth
Казахстана, с
largest
оборотом
trading
6
partner
миллиардов долларов.
with the turnover
Объем
of
инвестиций
6
за
billion, and the volume of
2022
investment
год
for the
составил
2022
$1,5
amounted to
миллиарда. В
$1.5
Казахстане
billion.
работает более 700
More than 700
компаний
companies
с
with
корейским
Korean
капиталом.
capital
Я
operate
могу
in
назвать
Kazakhstan.
крупные
Let me
среди них.
name the
Это
major
Lotte,
of them: Lotte,
Hyundai,
Kia, Hyundai,
Doosan,
Doosan, Samsung
Electronics,
Electronics, and
другие.
others.
Политический
Kazakhstan's
курс
political
Казахстана
course
направлен
is
на
aimed
региональное
at regional
сотрудничество в
cooperation
Центральной
in
Азии.
Central
Ну,
Asia.
как сказал
So,
господин
as said
Нематов, он отметил,
Akram Nimatov, he
мы
emphasized
сегодня
that
в
today
Центральной
in
Азии
Central Asia,
практически держим
we
курс на
hold our
наше
focus on our
экономическое,
economical
культурное,
and
гуманитарное
cultural
такое
humanitarian
сотрудничество.
cooperation,
Практически мы сегодня
and
стараемся,
we are
наверное,
trying
догнать многие упущенные
to
годы для того,
fill
чтобы
all the gaps that
сделать
we have through
большую,
all these
сильную
years
Центральную
to
Азию.
make really strong Central
Регулярно у
Asia
нас
region.
проходят встречи лидеров
And
наших
meetings of
государств.
our leaders of
Важную
our
роль
states are
играют
held
консультативные
regularly.
встречи
The
глав
consultative
государств. Я
meetings
хотел бы
of the
отметить,
heads of
что
state
главы
of
наших
Central Asia
государств
plays
практически
an important
встречаются
role,
в течение
and
года
heads of our
много
state
раз, то есть на
met
разных
like
площадках,
many times
более
on
10,
different
наверное, вот отмечается. Кроме
forums,
того,
more than 10 a
есть
year.
отдельно двусторонние
And
встречи.
I could say that we have more meetings, and I would like to talk more about transit and transport cooperation, and it achieved $5 million. And we are searching any ways and opportunities to maximize and to answer to the needs in services and needs of each other. So our goal is to cooperate with each other, and we are working toward this path, and that we could help to each other and realize all together. And I would like to emphasize that in our Central Asia, we have really huge potential, and I would talk about this later. We support activities of Central Asia and career cooperation. Of course, for our Central Asian countries, Republic of Korea is a key political and economic partner. And today's forum shows how far our cooperation going, and it allows us to determine our strategic goals for our future, and from this we can have other projects. And I would like to emphasize that on the parliament level, which is really important, our speakers from Central Asia and Republic of Korea held the first meeting of speakers in September 2023. For us, this is really good support on the state level, and we also aimed at developing cooperation through the real projects and initiatives to develop our cooperation between our countries. And in the context of today's forum, I would like to focus on our priorities within the framework of six-party cooperation. I would like to say, maybe you have any initiatives or any other ideas what you would like to add to this cooperation. First, transit and transport cooperation. Considering the geographical remoteness of our countries, it's important to develop reliable logistics for delivering goods to Central Asia. Today, the Republic of Korea, China, Central Asia, Europe route should be a winning solution, of course, and to use the territory of Central Asia as a large and attractive segment for Korean companies. And besides, of course, it's really important to build really good logistics system from Korea to Central Asia. So here, it's really crucial for companies to find their own niche to have a good projects. Besides, I would like to talk about market of Central Asia. It's a really attractive segment for Korean companies nowadays. And today, I would like to emphasize that this situation that is going on in the world, it's a really global political crisis, and at different countries in our world there is some problems and issues, and our continuing crisis of Russian-Ukrainian conflict, and this is really huge problem of sector Gaza in Israel and other hot points in the world. They destroy all global chain of our market relationships. All sanctions, wars, and multipolar world that we have, we have lots of segments in our world, and it's negatively impact on our market and economical relationships and ways in our world and between our countries. So we want to pay attention on Central Asia, because at that difficult period of time, we want to come together with all our countries in economical and political level. And besides that, we are paying a lot of attention of our cultural partnership. So moving forward, we talked about agro-industrial sector, we talked about agricultural development and using of Korean agricultural equipment, which will develop safety of our agricultural sector in Central Asia. Because Central Asia is a really great export hub for green products. And besides that, we can say that this potential that we have in Central Asia on human resources that are working in agro sector is really perspective. Third, processing of mineral resources and energy. Central Asia is rich in mineral raw materials, including non-ferrous and rare metals. So I would like to stop a little bit on Kazakhstan. I would like to say about Uran sphere, and it from 40 to 45% of all uran in all over the world is made in Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan is in top 10 industrial representatives of uran production, and we would like to talk about safety of our climate and energy, because this is a really important question about atomic electro energy, because in Kazakhstan we would like to build these plants in Kazakhstan, and we have a really competitive market in this sphere between many players in this industry. It's really important to emphasize that energy which is working in traditional raw materials, we are talking about low nitrogen levels, but nonetheless the right technology usage of traditional nitrogen industry will allow us to provide energy for our citizens, because in Kazakhstan it's 18,000 gigawatt of electricity we are producing, and we need to expand this production to 30 million gigawatts. And the same for Uzbekistan. There is an importance of increasing of production of electricity in Uzbekistan. Despite all the issues in all over the world, we need to focus in energy in our countries, and we would like to focus on this, of course, too. And the development of mining, metallurgy, and the implementation of complex processing of these resources in the countries of Central Asia using Korean technologies can be mutually beneficial. In Central Asia, the biggest player of mineral resources is Kazakhstan, and we are talking about Uzbekistan and Tajikistan as well, Turkmenistan and Kyrgyzstan. That's why nowadays our potential of production of mineral raw materials is really high. That's why we really need to go with common projects and cooperate together in this area. And I would like to mention about water resources and the problem of water resource shortages in Central Asia. It's a serious challenge to the security of the region. It's expected that by 2050, the water levels in Sirdarya and Amudarya rivers will decrease by 15%. And it can impact on the production to 30%. And that's why we need really innovative technologies to save our waters. And we need to have water, maybe Korean institutes and Kazakhstan institute can work together on such projects. And I would like to also mention about mechanical engineering and manufacturing sector. I would like to talk about Kazakhstan, and also I will mention Uzbekistan as well. I cannot talk about other neighbors because I'm working in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. And we are developing engineering and manufacturing sector. First of all, we target on big companies, but then we notice that it goes all to small sectors and small businesses. And the development of the mechanical engineering and manufacturing sector through the creation of technology hubs. You know, we can create these hubs like co-working centers, and these will use advanced Korean technologies to produce high-tech products, and which will support the development of small and medium-sized businesses in Central Asia. And we can create these technological hubs to produce such production in Uzbekistan and to sell these products to businessmen in Central Asia, because they are producing this manufacturing sector. And in Korea, we want to really increase the quantity of production here. And we want to increase small businesses in Central Asia. So next, tourism development. The creation of a single tourist route across Central Asia, enriched with new tourist packages, will be an important step in strengthening regional tourism. This route will offer travelers a unique experience, embracing the cultural diversity and natural beauty of the region, like historical centers and other parks in Central Asia. I would like to mention that I'm not talking only about Kazakhstan, but about Central Asia as a whole, because Central Asia, we need to look at this region as a holistic region and regional partner in all directions. Today we have different routes like Almaty, Seoul, and Tashkent, Seoul, and this is an opportunity for us to expand our cooperation, like avia hubs, like commercial and for traveling. And I would like also to mention that we have other routes, and we talked about human resources, we talked about education and medicine, and it's really perspective ways where we need to really work on and expand our business in these sectors. Of course, we have different projects and many countries find their own partners, but we need to really come together and to create a base, financial base, and to stimulate other partners and to focus on helping each other to build this infrastructure together. And besides, of course, in Central Asia, we can create other capitals and other productions which we can export across all our Central Asian region. In conclusion, I would like to note that the potential for cooperation between our countries cannot be assessed. We propose to work not only in the field of supply of mineral waters, but, as noted by the meeting participants, move to closer cooperation and more actively share technologies, set up joint production, deepen trade, economic, cultural, and humanitarian ties. And I would like to thank all of you again, and I'm looking forward our cooperation. I look forward for this, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. I'm really impressed that how much relationship has been improved between the Republic of Korea and the region. Well, I have to make my apologies because we spent a lot of time yesterday to talk about the future cooperation between Korea and Uzbekistan and Central Asia. So I missed one important guest, the Mr. First Deputy Director, Akramyon Nematov, our important participant, but I missed introducing him to you. I'm sorry. Yeah. And also, I'd like to give the next mic to Mr. Ambassador Organ Bekar, the ambassador from the Embassy of the Republic of Turkey to the Republic of Uzbekistan. Actually, when we prepared for this forum, we asked the embassies to express their interest and suggest agendas for improving the relationship between our parties. So we'll make every effort to convey the contents of this forum to the Korean government. So please feel free to talk about your interest and agenda that we can share together. Please, Mr. Ambassador.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Distinguished directors, dear colleagues, esteemed participants, I thank Institute for Strategic and Regional Studies under the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan and National Strategies Research Project Agency Center for International Area Studies for organizing this diplomatic roundtable, which is a fruitful platform to highlight the global and regional importance of our relations with Uzbekistan. I will try to briefly share about the current status of relations between Turkey and Uzbekistan, as well as Uzbekistan's foreign policy in the region and beyond. Uzbekistan is a key country in Central Asia due to its geostrategic position with its young and dynamic population, which is currently about 36 million, with its national resources and its multi-dimensional foreign policy. As His Excellency President Mirziyoyev has taken Uzbekistan in a new direction, the reforms brought along robust economic growth and proactive foreign policy. I am pleased to note that after the dedicated efforts under his able leadership, Uzbekistan is now one of the leading countries of the region. Also, the current dynamics in the global arena highlighted the importance of Central Asia, which resulted with an increased interest of different countries to the region. Uzbekistan plays a vital role with its active international relations and great potential in this regard. Thus, we are happy to see the increasing integration and cooperation among the Central Asian countries. Turkey's relations with Uzbekistan is growing every day in different aspects. The current excellent state of relations, based on our common history, language, belief, civilization, and tradition, are satisfying today. On the other hand, considering our potential, we know that we as two brother countries have more to do, and we are working hard in this direction. Our priority is to maintain and continue the momentum that our relationship has achieved through the bold and decisive steps taken by our presidents over the past years. This year, we are celebrating 100th anniversary of our republic and 32nd anniversary of the diplomatic relations between Turkey and Uzbekistan. We are proud to be the first country to have recognized the independence of Uzbekistan on 16 December 1991, subsequently establishing diplomatic relations on 4th March 1992. Turkish nation consider Uzbekistan as our ancestral homeland. Building upon our centuries-long, strong and historic ties, our bilateral cooperation has greatly expanded today, and today it has embraced almost all areas of human endeavor. As a very snap summary of recent history of our bilateral relations, the visit of our President, His Excellency Recep Tayyip Erdogan to Uzbekistan in 2016 opened a completely new page in our relations, bilateral relations. In 2017, our relations were elevated to the level of strategic partnership. And in 2018, a high-level strategic cooperation council was established between two countries, which institutionalized our partnership. In 2022, during the second meeting of the High-Level Strategic Cooperation Council, relations were improved to the level of comprehensive strategic partnership, which is a term used for the first time in the foreign policy of both countries and clearly demonstrates the priority position of Turkey and Uzbekistan for each other. In addition to the High-Level Strategic Cooperation Council mechanism, the momentum in our relationship is sustained by meetings and bilateral visits of the Joint Strategic Planning Group, Joint Economic Commission, and Joint Land Transportation Commissions. In addition to this bilateral mechanism and contacts, we are also fostering our relations and cooperation with Uzbekistan and wider region through Organization of Turkic States with its secretariat in Istanbul. In an atmosphere of mutual trust, our relations in all areas are strengthening more and more. As the fourth biggest trading partner of Uzbekistan and several Turkish investments in the country, our economic and trade relations are the driving force behind our relations based on understanding of mutual respect and common interest. We are also aware of the improving relations between the Republic of Korea and Uzbekistan, particularly in the recent years. As Uzbekistan's fifth biggest trading partner, we believe that the Republic of Korea has an important know-how and technology to share in the reform and development process of Uzbekistan. Distinguished participants, we believe we should focus on the mutual benefits of our cooperation, always looking towards the future. A stronger and more prosperous Uzbekistan is vital not only for Central Asia, but also for the wider region. Turkey attaches utmost importance to the stability, welfare, and development of Uzbekistan and will enhance its relations on the basis of mutual understanding. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. And I confess that we Koreans always feel brotherhood and brothership with the Turkey. And I'd like to give mic to next participant, Mr. Secretary Wang Yun-jong, from the Secretary to the President for Economic Security from the Office of the Republic of Korea, please.
Thank you for moderator. I had just a wonderful presentation by the two ambassadors to the Uzbekistan. Actually, yesterday, in the third ROK Central Asia Strategic Dialogue, I just delivered my short speech and touch on the potential areas for the collaboration between South Korea and Central Asia. So I just pick up the several areas. One is supply chain issue, and second one is, as mentioned, ambassador, transportation and logistics, and health, and climate change, and people exchange, education and human resource development. But today, I'd like to laser focus on the economic security issue, because I'm in charge of the economic security and our presidential office. So I just want to go back to the more than 30 years. That time I was a doctoral student and writing a dissertation on the economic integration. That time I have never thought about the politics and international politics, because I'm the economist and I'm just working on the economic profession. So I'm just focusing on the economic theory and never thought about the political the stuffs. But that time, around 30 years ago, we just observed a number of the important international events, starting with the collapse of the Berlin Wall in 1989. And then we just saw the dramatic thing, that is German unification. And then the 91 collapse of the Soviet Union. And then the CIS countries and the many Central Asian countries became independent from the Soviet Union. So we following this kind of a series of the events. So we just have entered the new age. So we just finished the Cold War. And then we just starting the surge of the economic integration and so-called globalization. So Korea achieved remarkable economic success through the market integration and then the market liberalization. So that kind of a journey involved the gradual dismantling and lower trade barrier and lower, the investment barriers. So the market integration and market opening just made Korea a very successful player in the global marketplace. So these efforts have transformed South Korea into one of the most open economies in the world, and that is the top secret of the Korea's miracle. But at the same time, I just want to one more thing, that is human resource development. So education, that is another pillar for economic success. But now we are experiencing some paradigm shift. So I'm just would like to say that we are just finishing the post-Cold War and the globalization period. So we are just entering the post-Cold War and then post-globalization. Probably this kind of things happen probably 8 years ago and 7 or 8 years ago when the Trump administration started the administration in the United States, and then Trump just brought the tariff war with China, and then many people really concerned about this kind of a strategic competition between the U.S. and China, and some people may say that we are entering it's kind of a new Cold War. But I don't want to say the new Cold War. I just want to say the post-Cold War. So now many business people are moving away from the global supply chain and economic integration. So, in the previous time, we are just focusing on how to maximize the profits by reducing and minimizing the cost. And then just in time, the business management is kind of, the techniques to minimize the, production and marketing cost. But now, instead, we are adopting some other strategy, some other different, business strategies, something like diversification and inventory stockpiling, and the number of things to mitigate the involved risk and ensure the supply chain resilience. So I think many business people trying to secure the source of inputs and the components. Otherwise, they must face some serious the disruption in the production process. So I think we are facing these kind of disruptions and vulnerabilities. So I think some people just say that this is kind of the poly crisis. It's a multiple crisis. So along with the pandemic issues and along with the climate change issues and along with this kind of geopolitical the stuffs like the Israel-Hamas issues, something like that. So now the many governments, including South Korea and the Central Asia, governments are trying to survive and adjusting their, the previous and existing policies and international collaboration. So I think, the traditional, allies and partnership is also important, but more important thing is how to build trust, and at the same time, the friendship. So yesterday, I just make a very important point, like in the supply chain management. So that is called friend shoring. What is the friend shoring? Some people may think about the near-shoring and the on-shoring, but friend shoring means if we just have a production site in friend country, we may have the 100% trust, 100% friendship. Then we don't need to worry about some possibility of disruption, supply chain disruption. That is a core element in the coming, the post-Cold War period. So I think now the Korea is trying to have a diversification strategy to secure the very, very critical minerals. So now the Korea has a very high-tech technology, particularly in the chip industry, semiconductor chip industry, and the EVs and batteries. So we are entering the climate change period. Then clean energy is a very important engine of the economic growth. So we need to secure the critical minerals for producing and manufacturing the EV batteries. So EV batteries consist of a lot of the critical minerals, but South Korea doesn't have anything, particularly in the anode. That is we need a graphite for producing the anode, and then the cathode we need 3 materials and along with the lithium and nickel. We don't have nickel. We don't have a cobalt, something like that. So I think problem is we have to secure those kind of critical minerals from other countries, but countries with trust, countries with friendship. So I think probably Central Asia provided big opportunities to Korea. So I think today I just want to narrow focus on this issue, but I think we must go another big journey and to endeavor to survive and to overcome this kind of the resource limitation in Korea. So along with South Korea, Central Asia countries. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Well, we cannot deny that Korea has been benefited from free trade. And, well, as you pointed out, the vulnerability that we are facing now is the problem that we have to solve. And friend sharing can be possible with strengthening the friendship between the Republic of Korea and our brothers in Central Asia, including Uzbekistan, Turkey, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan, and Turkmenistan. So, well, in a sense, well, this can be a good starting point to talk about the main agenda of the forum. So if you want to make some comments or suggestions or questions, feel free to raise your hand and then I will give the mic to you. And when you begin your argument, please stop just for 2 seconds for the camera to chase you. Okay? So when it comes to the problem, would you have the mic, Mr. First Deputy Director?
Can I speak Russian?
Russian.
Okay.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank all our Korean partners for this organization of this forum and for invitation and opportunity to be here and represent my speech here. And I would like to thank our advisors, all secretaries and ambassadors of all countries for your support of this forum. Yesterday we held our event in the expanded version of it, and we called it Strategic Dialogue of Central Asia and Korean Republic and the Perspective of Collaboration. And what is important, we took part all our Central Asian countries and all strategic institutes and all heads of these institutes. And also some of the centers of economical department took part in this event also. From Kyrgyzstan, from Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, and Turkmenistan. And yesterday we had a really fruitful dialogue. It was really rich with recommendations, and it tells us that we have really common interest in each other. And like our secretariat mentioned of Central Asia and Korean Republic, based on this experience, within 30 years, we have a shift into the future and interest. And yesterday I emphasized for myself in each speech.
И для этого есть
And for
очень
that,
хороший задел. Это
we had a really good
опыта взаимодействия,
experience
причем,
in
который
collaboration
охватывает
with
все
each
сферы.
other,
Да, у нас
which
нет сфер, в которых мы не работали, но
take
самый
all
такой,
spheres,
на мой взгляд,
because there is no
мощный
spheres where
актив.
we didn't work with
Это,
each other, and
как
this is a
сегодня
huge
уже говорили,
active for
если
us and our countries.
сила
As already was
птицы
mentioned,
как бы
that
заключается
the
в их
strength
крыльях,
of the
да,
bird
корейскую
is
пословицу
in
привели, мне
its
понравилось, что
wings.
сила
It's really like what I
людей
like
заключается в их
this,
дружбе, да. Я
because
думаю,
we
вот
need to
именно
have
самый
friendship
сильный
between each
такой
other,
актив, это
because
именно
this
дружба,
is the
которая
most,
вот за все эти годы
this is the
сложилась
strongest
между
active for
нашими
us
народами.
between
нашими
our
народами. И
nationalities.
это, наверное, во многом связано с тем,
And
что мы
it's connected
живем с корейцами,
because we
да.
are living
Мы
with
вместе
Koreans.
рождаемся в
We
одних роддомах,
are together
ходим в
in
одни
one
сады,
hospitals, in one kindergartens, in
живем в одних
schools,
дворах.
and we are
Для
living
нас
in
очень
one
это близкий
houses,
менталитет,
because
это наши
this
родные
mentality
люди.
is
Я
really
же говорю, их кухня — это
close
часть
to us.
меню нашей
Their
кухни, их
dishes
праздники,
are
наши
really
праздники.
good, and we love it, and
Мы,
their
как на
holidays as
праздниках
well,
вместе,
and
так
our
и на
holidays, we just celebrate
и в такие дни
with
бываем,
each
и на
other
хорошие вместе.
all
То есть
together.
мы
Even in the
просто для нас
worst
это очень знакомый
days, we are together
народ.
as well.
Да,
So
а
I can
доверие —
say
это
that
самый
Korea is a
хороший
very
фактор.
close
Вот
nationality for
что
us, and
касается
trust is
френдшоринга, я бы тоже
really
хотел высказать некоторые мысли.
important in our relationships.
Действительно, я тоже считаю,
I would
что
like to say
большой
that
такой вызов
I really
для
think that
Центральной
it's our
Азии
challenge in Central Asia
заключается в том, что на вот фоне вот
is
этой
that
глобальной
on our
такой
global
геополитической
geopolitical
конфронтации,
confrontation
которая
and
влияет и на
challenge that we have
геоэкономику,
and its
мы
impact
видим, идет
on
такая фрагментация
economical
миропорядка,
level, and we see that
фрагментация миропорядка,
there
да.
is a
По
fragmentation
сути,
in the world,
игнорируются базовые
and
принципы
we see the
международного права.
ignorance of principles in our world, of international rules and policies.
Видим, что и
And we can
глобальные
see that
институты,
global
которые
institutes
призваны
who needs
обеспечивать
to
международное сотрудничество,
provide
решать международные
international
проблемы,
relationships
они
and to solve the
проявляют какую-то
conflicts that
неэффективность.
we have.
И в этих условиях, конечно,
In
нарастает
these
конфликтный
conditions,
потенциал,
we
он в
see the
некоторых
conflicts
регионах
between regions in the world,
уже как бы перетекает в такую горячую фазу.
and it's going
эта
to
глобальная
the worst
нестабильность,
situation. And this instability in the
которую
world
связывают с формированием такого нового
bounding with the formation
многополярного
of
мира.
multipolar
Эксперты говорят, что это займет длительное
world,
время, хотя бы
experts
по
says that
историческим
it will
меркам, да.
take long
И она
time
будет
in
как
the
бы
future,
сопровождать
and
нашу жизнь.
it will be in our everyday
Даже не в
life,
ближайшее время, а
not
длительное
just
время.
close
Это как бы
time, but
требует,
for a long period of
того,
time we
чтобы
will
мы
face with
адаптировались
these
к новым
challenges,
таким
and we need to adapt
реалиям.
in this
И
new
тут,
reality.
конечно, есть разные
And of
оценки.
course,
Кто-то
we can
говорит о
see different
деглобализации,
assessment.
кто-то
Someone
говорит
says
о
it will be
постглобализации.
deglobalization,
Различные
post-globalization,
оценки, да,
different
среди ученых.
assessment among scientists.
Мы слышим термины
But we see
de-risking,
different
decoupling,
terms like decoupling,
onshoring,
de-risking,
как уже говорили, да.
onshoring, and
friendshoring.
others, friendshoring.
Вот я считаю,
And
что
I think that this instability in the global world impact our region,
регион находится на
and because
стратегически
our
важном
region is
между, можно
related
сказать,
in
формирующимися
Central
такими
Asia,
пульсами,
and
да,
we
нового
form
миропорядка.
new
Тут у нас Китай,
realities.
тут
We
Россия,
have in neighboring
тут у нас
countries China, India,
по ту сторону Турция. То
Turkey.
есть, более того, мы находимся
And
на
moreover,
таком
we
перекрестке
are
транспортных
located
магистралей.
in
По сути,
logistical
я уже вчера говорил, в 2
magistrals.
часах полета от 30%
We have like 2
населения
hours
мира, да,
flight
то есть Южная Азия,
to
Китай,
South
Африка,
Asia, to
Россия,
China, to Russia,
Турция.
to Turkey.
Тут сконцентрировано 7%
So we have like 70% of gas and oil in Uzbekistan, in Central Asia. And I had a report recently from 40 to 50% of all critical world metallurgy and raw materials, molybdenum, cobalt, zinc, wolfram,
марганец, да, то есть
magnesium.
тут сконцентрировано, в принципе.
it's all concentrated in Kazakhstan, in Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and we need to develop it as well. Of course, in these conditions, we had different interests in this region from different countries. And as I said yesterday, in these conditions, we really need, and it's really crucial for our region to save our regions and to be open to cooperation and to be inclusive with many other countries, and we don't want to feel geopolitical challenges on our region. Some of you said that we talked about geopolitical pluralism for our country and our region, and we need to be ready to cooperate with all countries in the world for regional stability, for beneficial contacts, and to be win-win for our countries, because we have like different confrontation in with different countries, and we understand that we have we need to like choose where we need to go with our region. And there was said that in Uzbekistan we have 3,000 years of historical heritage in Uzbekistan, including Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan. It's 3,000 years, and we faced with different wars. We had different great periods, different civilizations, Macedonians, Arabs, Kushans were here, and even Silk Road we had here, and we had prosperity when our region was open for everyone, and our geographical region is really like perspective for all these connections, and I think that it is really important geostrategical strategy for our region with cooperation with Republic of Korea, and we are open for Korea and other countries, and Korea can be as an integrator that will support and help us to support interests of other non-regional acts. And it can be really important benefit for us as well. And if we are talking about offshoring, of course, in Republic of Korea, it's a really huge and strong active that we have, because our mentality is really similar to each other. So for us Koreans is really close, and it's really easy for us to build relationship with each other. Like we have 700 companies which cooperate with Korean companies, and Korean companies takes leading positions in our regions. And at this moment we see that there is some tries to build relationship with our region and our countries, and everyone want to make sure that it's safe and supply chains are safe across the countries, and they don't want to face any geopolitical blocks and issues and confrontations in their supply chains. And we can see that many countries, many leading countries, developed countries, they concentrated on themselves because the consumption is decreasing, and that's why production decreasing. They're dealing with their own problems. And we see that the sustainable development goals is really like challenging for our countries as well. And we see that many blocs challenge us as well. And our politics connected really with reconfiguration of supply chains. And it gives us risks with which decreases our money and royal investment. And from the other hand, in these regions, we have different other opportunities because these risks helps us to build other strategies. For example, in high-tech technologies, we need to sustain with ourselves with raw materials at least for 15%, depending on different countries, less than 50%. And this tendency we can see in European Union and in other political economical blocs. And this opens new opportunities for us that we can provide our own resources where we can work together with Kazakhstan, with your metallurgic industry, and in our country we also provide another raw materials, and we can produce these all together, and we can collaborate with each other and sell it on the third countries. And we need, first of all, to work in the logistics and transport industry and to invest in human resource, of course, because in Central Asia it's really young generation, and the average age is 38 years. And as I say that in 2030 we will have 100 million people in our country. And as I said, at the last 10 years, the VVP in our countries is twice higher than it used to be 10 years ago, and there is a demand for technological production in our country, and we need really to invest in this industry because it will be a dividend for our country. And of course it is a really huge challenge to provide human resource with a job, but this is my commentary. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Director. And Well, as a person from Republic of Korea, the first Deputy Director pointed out that Central Asian countries have a long history of 3,000 years. And we Koreans are also proud of our long history. We, habitually say that we are the homogeneous people who share the 5,000 years of history. And another similarity is that we are located in a geopolitically important location. And the similarity of that kind of geopolitical pivot is quite frank: foreign invasion. We have invaded by foreign countries over 900 times over 5,000 years of history. So, in a sense, last July, I've been in Nagorno-Karabakh to join the Shusha Global Media Forum. And that was a good chance for me to think about the possible invasion from other countries and conflicts among neighboring countries. So, we have to work together to maintain the peace and prosperity that we are enjoying now. And so maybe Mr. Ambassador from the Republic of Korea, Mr. Ambassador Kim Il-sung, has something to say about this. I'd like to give mic to Mr. Ambassador Kim Il-sung.
Thank you. I'm very glad to hear the importance of economic security issues today. And when our foreign minister visited Uzbekistan in June, our embassy proposed the concept of Korea Central Asia Economic Security Network. I propose this because there is a great potential. Firstly, as we all know, this region, Central Asia, is very rich in natural resources, petroleum, natural gas, and many minerals. In case of Uzbekistan, also not only for natural resources, but also very rich in human resources. Every year, 1 million people, we have a new population of 1 million. So, and in addition, as Mr. Wang said, for the economic security, the trust and friendship is very important. And this is what we have in this region. I mean, between Korea and Central Asia, we have a long history of cooperation and very high level of trust and mutual friendship. So this, they are what we have. But I think we need further investment because, firstly, although there are many natural resources, but in order to use, especially for Korean companies, there should be, the process. Because, for instance, the molybdenum or tungsten, they are the very good material for Korean semiconductor industry, but we need to process it to the level of 69% of purity. So far, the Uzbekistan, although you have a molybdenum and tungsten, but you need some more of the technology. So there should be investment in technology. And also in case of human resources, I think there should be more investment in education, especially the vocational professional training. And also there should be further investment in the area of transportation and connectivity, because Uzbekistan is double landlocked, and Central Asia as a whole also the landlocked region. So currently between Korea and, for instance, Korea and Uzbekistan, we have to use only airplane or the trains through Siberia or China. So it's very difficult to increase the mutual trade. So we need to develop further way of transportation. And even among the Central Asian countries, I think we need more kind of infrastructure for the transportation, connecting this Central Asia and more closely. And so now I think between Central Asia and Korea, we have many kind of cooperation projects, but now we need to look at more, kind of comprehensive strategy and how to make this kind of cooperation work, develop those kind of cooperation work into more kind of the real strategy to make a strong Korea Central Asia economic security network. And I believe this kind of economic security network is not just exclusive to Korea or Central Asian countries. I mean, we need only if we have a good trust and partnership, the Turkey, Georgia, Azerbaijan, any other countries, we can work together. So it is not the exclusive network. It is open network. So all countries, all like-minded countries can work together. So I think today's forum is a very good opportunity to discuss how to establish this kind of economic security network. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Well, we always try to find the similarities, and also our agency tried to find cultural similarities. Let me explain briefly why we use the terminology North here. On April 8th of 2021, we launched the Culture and Strategies Forum for the Korean Peninsula and the North. This forum aims to identify cultural contexts with northern countries and establish the cultural hub. The first and second forum were held in Seoul, Korea, and were attended by diplomats from Central Asia, Turkey, and Georgia, and Azerbaijan, as you are here, like this. And the Republic of Korea has been actively expanding its diplomatic ties since it was established on August 15th of 1948. There are two significant periods of expansion in the history of Korean diplomacy. The first happened in 1962, when we established diplomatic relations with 28 countries, and the second occurred in 1992, when we established diplomatic ties with 18 countries. Azerbaijan, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan established diplomatic relations with South Korea in 1992, and it means that last year was the 30th anniversary of our diplomatic relationship. So now South Korea's diplomatic reach, particularly towards the ex-communist bloc, was expanded through the Northern policy which President Park Chung-hee's declaration introduced on June 23rd of 1973. The policy gained prominence during the Rohteu administration. With his inauguration speech in 1988, he openly declared the government's commitment to the Northern policy. The July 7th declaration, the successful hosting of the 1988 Seoul Olympic Games, and the end of the Cold War marked the beginning of South Korea's global diplomacy era. Since then, Korean presidents have continued to engage with northern countries, albeit under different brandings. The northern policy of Rohteu and diplomatic relations with the former communist bloc, Kim Il-sung government's was globalization policy and market opening, and Kim Dae-jung government, sunshine policy and Iron Silk Road, and Roh Moo-hyun government's peace and prosperity policy and Northeast Asia balancing theory, and Lee Myung-bak government's comprehensive diplomacy and 3 new Silk Roads, and Park Geun-hye government's trust diplomacy and Eurasia initiative, and Moon Jae-in government's was new northern policy. These are the brandings that Korean government have used to point out the focus on northern countries. On May 10, 2022, the new government of Yoon Suk-yeol was inaugurated. We are confident that the new government will continue prioritizing cooperation and communication with Central Asian countries and the rest of the world. And that is the aim of our forum. And so that's what I wanted. What I wanted to say is that just feel free to talk about our future relationship and improvement, not only about economic security and supply chain, but also we can find a lot of similarities among our cultures. As Mr. First Deputy pointed out, well, he loves Korean cuisine, and we feel brotherhood to Turkey people and Uzbekistan people and Tajikistan people, Kazakhstan people. When we meet them, we find, well, appearance similarities, and even though in their gene, there is no, how can I put it, no father and mother from Korea, but they look same with us. They look same with us. So it means that maybe, well, long time ago, we have the same ancestors. And now we are living together in this global society. So, well, if there is anyone who wants to talk about something, please raise your hand. And, okay, please, Mr. Secretary Wang.
These days, some people saying that the decoupling is problematic. So the European countries start with a new terminology like delisting. But I think you mentioned that the cultural exchange is very, very important for particularly the young generation. So now I'm really proud of the K-movie and K-pop, but it's not just the K. It's kind of the universally shared the music and the movies. But some countries just prohibited Korean movies and Korean pop song. And the internet is now allowed. So those countries, they're cutting down this kind of a coupling. So without this kind of exchange of something cultural stuff between countries, that is a real decoupling. It's very dangerous stuff. So I think we must connect this kind of bridge, but the cultural exchange. Without that, even though you are just saying in the multilateral forum, we are supporting the multilateralism, but that is a lie, totally a lie. Yeah. So important thing is really bridge these kind of cultural ties through the music and through the movies and through all kinds of interaction. So I think that is the most important thing. So I think Central Asia, I heard that the Korean movies and Korean pop songs is really popular to young generation. That is a really good thing for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. When it comes to the K-wave, well, we have to think about this to the youngsters of Central Asian countries. And we don't believe that cooperation is possible based on unilateral interest. Cooperation should begin from mutual interest that we can share together. And if we can have something together, then we can meet more, and then we can have more. And we will have a coffee break for 10 minutes and I get back. Thank you.